Alright guys, so welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all generally doing well. So of course, for today's video, I want to give you guys an update what's happening with Bitcoin today and of course the entire cryptocurrency market. There is in fact a fair few charts that I really want to show you guys indicating that potentially in the next few months, the next upcoming few months, we're gonna see Bitcoin head back up to that $30,000 level and of course continue to rise even more than that, right, in the next upcoming few months. And what I really want to talk about for today's videos, and you guys can really, read by the title, is Bitcoin reaching $250,000 by the year, of course, 2025. Okay, so that's exactly what I want to talk about for today's video. So before we get into it, give it a thumbs up and of course subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate that as always. And let's begin with this video. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at 26,600, right? So if we go to the 4-hour time frame, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is in fact slightly bouncing back up to the 26k level, almost up back up to the 27k level. So yes, Bitcoin is in fact, you guys can clearly see pumping. Okay, we saw Bitcoin yesterday slightly pumping as well. Earlier this morning it's slightly pumping as well, but majority of the pump happened yesterday, right, a couple of hours ago. Okay, we are in fact in the 4-hour time frame. You guys clearly see for the past fair few hours we are in fact seeing Bitcoin slowly bounce back up to the upside, which is always great to see for Bitcoin. Now other altcoins and the crypto market overall is looking pretty good, right? You guys clearly see the global crypto market cap still above 1 trillion. Always great to see. And of course, the entire market today is up 2.4%. Okay, so everything is holding up pretty well. You guys see Bitcoin is up 1.2%. Ethereum is slightly up as well, still holding strong at $1,600. And a fair few altcoins like XRP, Cardano, Doge, Solana, and many more are in fact holding up pretty well today. You guys clearly see that, right? For the past 24 hours, Cosmos is up over 4%, 4.5%. Great to see for Cosmos. VeChain 5.2%. Like, come on now, it's looking pretty good for a fair few altcoins today, right? And I know the market was it was pumping decently yesterday as well, right? So everything's still holding up very well. And you guys clearly see the Fear Greed Index is holding up 45. We're still in fear mode. Okay, so it seems like investors are still sort of feeling fearful right now for the market and for Bitcoin, but that's understandable, right? We haven't really seen much momentum for Bitcoin or crypto. Okay, we really haven't for the past few weeks. I'm going to be honest with you guys, which is good news because we can buy more, we can stack more, right? This is the perfect time to buy as much Bitcoin and your favorite altcoins as much as possible, right? We're still in the buy zone, guys, right? Please understand that. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get into these charts, starting off with this one. So we know Bitcoin has in fact been forming this uptrend, right? Bitcoin still remains to trade in an uptrend. You guys clearly see that. It's going to continue to go up even more, guys, right? It's going to go back up to 30k level, right? It's going to go way higher than that, right? And I've been telling us many times, I really do believe towards the end of this year in 2023, we will potentially see a 50k Bitcoin, right? So you guys clearly see, yes, a beautiful uptrend is in fact forming for Bitcoin for the past few months throughout this year in 2023. This entire year, you guys clearly see this very obvious uptrend, right, for Bitcoin. So we hit a bottom right here, and this was obviously back in November and of course December last year, right? And ever since then, early of January, this year in 2023, Bitcoin has in fact been forming this uptrend ever since then, right? From January to where we are now, September, we've been seeing Bitcoin form this uptrend, right? So it will pump and then it'll drop and then it'll pump again, then it'll drop and it'll pump and then it'll drop, right? And potentially we might actually see Bitcoin pump even more. So for all the people out there that think we're going to see Bitcoin drop back down to like 20k or even lower than 20k, think again, right? So let me move on to the next chart, right? Bitcoin is in fact forming this megaphone pattern, I guess. This nice megaphone is still in play. 2 weeks until October. And I told you guys many times, and I'm going to talk more about this towards the end of this video. October, we know Bitcoin performs very well, right? It's going to pump next month, mark my words, most likely very high chance of Bitcoin pumping, which means pretty much the entire crypto market is going to pump as well. So be excited for that, guys, because I have a really good feeling for next month that we're going to potentially see Bitcoin reach back up to 30K potentially, and of course over 30K. Right, it's going to keep rising up, guys, right? Just like what this chart is showing right here. Right, this is potentially what's going to happen for Bitcoin in the next few weeks. So be excited for that. And that's why I always tell you guys, we will potentially never see a 20K Bitcoin ever again, or even Bitcoin, going lower than 20K, right? So just think about that. Okay, just think about it. So that's that. And of course, history repeating itself as usual. Okay, so right here, what you guys are looking at. Okay, so what happened back in 2020, we saw Bitcoin have a post-shakeout bull run, right? That's what it's called. Okay, and it seems like we will potentially see that happen for Bitcoin once again, where we are right now. Okay, so we are here and we will might potentially, okay, not 100% just yet, but we will potentially see Bitcoin have a massive pump up, just like what it did back in 2020, right? But we will see, who knows, okay? But it says here Bitcoin's all-time high is brewing in this post-shakeout bull run. Bitcoin has never lost its track, and that is very true. So we might actually see Bitcoin have a pretty decent pump in the next upcoming few months, right? Especially in October, right? Remember that October is usually a great month for Bitcoin. So be excited for that, guys, okay? Be excited for all my Bitcoin holders out there, okay? It's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. So this is what potentially Bitcoin will do in the next upcoming few months. Have a massive pump up to the upside. And that is, yes, that is very possible for Bitcoin. Like I said, right? It's going to break this resistance line. And once Bitcoin actually breaks this resistance line, yes, it's going to pump up, right? It's going to pump up. So be excited for that. Now, in other news, okay, that I really want to just show you guys, we know Tesla, okay, are in fact accepting Bitcoin as payments, but they actually stopped that, right? I think back in 2021, that's when we saw actually Bitcoin back in 2021 dropping. I think it was in May of 2021, I remember, and Bitcoin was absolutely dropping, right? And it seems like they might actually accept it. So it says here, Bitcoin clean energy usage now exceeds 50%. Bloomberg reports Elon Musk previously said Tesla would once again accept Bitcoin payments when clean energy usage exceeds 50%. So it seems like Tesla could potentially once again accept Bitcoin as payments when the clean energy usage exceeds to 50%, right? So this is some big news, and we know what happens, right? We will potentially see Bitcoin pump when this does in fact happen. Okay, so many potential, guys, for Bitcoin to pump, in the future, right? We know a lot of institutions, okay, Bitcoin ETFs, right, are going to be potentially be approved very soon from the SEC. Like, just so many reasons of why Bitcoin's going to pump, guys. So that's why I really do believe in the next upcoming few months, and of course the next few years. Of course, I'm talking about 2024 and of course 2025. We're going to see Bitcoin pump like crazy, and I cannot wait for you guys to see that, right? For all the people that are very patient right now, trust me, there's going to be a big reward upcoming, right? So be ready for that, okay? And talking about 2025, Bitcoin to $250,000. Bitcoin's new bull run starts. Okay, remember, we hit a bottom, okay? And I always told you guys, right? And throughout Bitcoin history, we don't see Bitcoin go back down to its previous bottom in the same bear market. That has never happened in Bitcoin history. So understand, we have already hit a bottom. It was around 15K back in November, right? And then, of course, like I said many times, throughout 2023, so far, we have, in fact, been seeing Bitcoin form this uptrend, okay? So it's going to be all ups from here, guys, clearly, right? We're not going to see Bitcoin drop back down to like 20K or below 20K, or even go back down to 50K or lower, because I still feel like a lot of people are, in fact, predicting, not a lot of people, but just people in general are, in fact, predicting that we're going to see Bitcoin drop back down to like 15K or lower than 50K. Very unlikely to happen. That's not going to happen. Okay, I can tell you that much right now. Okay, so most likely we're going to see Bitcoin continue to pump up to the upside. And of course, we know the halving's coming up, trillions of dollars You heard me, trillions of dollars are going to be poured into Bitcoin, right? With all these institutions filing for Bitcoin ETFs and most likely going to get approved by the SEC. And once they get approved by the SEC, a lot of money is going to be poured into the market and, of course, Bitcoin itself, right? So just think about that, okay? Just think about that. So obviously, Bitcoin's going to easily reach back up to its previous all-time highs and, of course, reach a new all-time high. And that new all-time high could potentially be a 250K Bitcoin. Okay, so we might actually see Bitcoin most likely in the year 2025 reach $250,000. And that is absolutely insane. And yes, this is what the chart would potentially look like for Bitcoin. Okay, so just think about that, guys. Some exciting times are in fact coming for Bitcoin and crypto. It may seem boring right now. We're all the way, down here. It may seem boring right now, but understand in the next few years, it's going to be absolutely amazing. That's why I always tell you guys to humble yourself, to buy more, be disciplined, just stack as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, right? This is obviously a disclaimer, not financial advice, okay? Just my personal opinion, but this is obviously the perfect time to buy as much as possible and just don't simply hodl right now, right? That's that. So 250K Bitcoin, very, very possible for the year 2025. So be excited for that. Now, to end off this video, Bitcoin monthly returns, September. We know September usually is a really, really bad month for Bitcoin. And you guys clearly see so far, actually, we're actually up 2.5%. Surprisingly, we're not down so far, guys. And we are halfway through this month of September, right? We have another pretty much 15 days or 16 days into this month, I believe. Let me check. 15 days pretty much, right? It's the 14th for you guys. It's the 15th for me, most likely. So pretty much, we're halfway through this month, and so far Bitcoin is up 2.5% so far for this month of September. But that could change. We might actually see Bitcoin drop back down to the downside, right? Another pullback. We might actually see that for Bitcoin, another retest, right? We will see. But I'm not expecting anything too big for this month. But next month, October, I'm expecting Bitcoin to really pump, because you guys can see for the month of October, Bitcoin actually performs very, very well, like very well. Okay, so I'm expecting some big pumps for Bitcoin in the next upcoming few weeks, to be honest with you guys, right? Especially in October. So that's that. But guys, everything's looking pretty good for Bitcoin, even though yes, it's not really moving, but understand it is in fact slightly pumping. It's back up at 26K, coming up to 27K. So we'll see where Bitcoin will head if it can go back up to that 27K level. I will obviously keep you guys updated. But on that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up and, of course, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.